Many people know the story surrounding the bounty, but no one more than Wayne Green, a man who has devoted all of his spare time since April 2004 to build a replica of the well-known ship. In this short documentary, we will explore how Wayne discovered the bounty and the journey he has been on to build it to what it is today.
How did I get into modelling? I've been a modeller for as long as I can remember. I was brought up on a farm in North Canterbury, and farming kids make their own fun. One of the first things that I can remember making was a model of a Maori canoe using a piece of flax flower stem, cutting it in half, hollowing it out, shaping the ends, pinching some of my father's paint and producing a model. I've modelled many things since the Maori canoe, including gliders, model aeroplanes, boats, the railway of course, which is roughly 20 square metres, and of course for the last 8 years or so the bounty. In October of 2003, my wife and I decided we'd go and visit our nearest international neighbour, which is Norfolk Island. What sparked my interest in bounty can be put down to this lady here, because when you go to Norfolk, your accommodation usually provides a free half-day tour of the island, and everywhere we went there's bounty. There's the Bounty Centre, Bounty Folk Museum, Bounty Lodge and Restaurant, an outdoor theatre, bounty divers, bounty excursions, bounty escapes. And I didn't have a clue what any of that was about. Going down the main street, I saw this bronze model of a ship and discovered that was the bounty. And I decided after seeing this cutaway diagram that it'd be a good thing to model. And I found the easiest way to start to model a ship was probably to buy a kit, because I've never done any of that sort of modelling. So I did, and in the 3 months that took to arrive, I studied the original drawings of the ship, the Bounty. And when the kit arrived, I found it wasn't accurate. So this introduced me to both the Bounty saga and the ship, the Bounty. What happened? Very simply, there was a mutiny on the ship. And the mutiny happened on the 28th of April 1789 near Tonga, near an island called Te Fua. And at that point, the captain and 18 of the crew were put in a 7-metre overgrown dinghy, not very big, and set adrift. And they were given enough supplies for a week, so it really was a death sentence. And that begins the thing that became the Bounty saga. The mutineers, of course, were on bounty, and half of their mates were in this little launch. Yeah, building a bounty. The first thing, of course, is we've considered that it was a kit already, and the kit wasn't accurate. And this bounty has been built according to the plans of John Mackay. And there's a plan for everything in this book. Every detail of bounty that you would want is in here. It's all hard work. And what was going to be a 2-year project starting in about April 2004 is still going. And I'm still spending about 10 hours a week on bounty. The building of the bounty starts off with a keel, The very first things that I actually made after putting the keel and frames were some doors, once again out of red beech. They were the first things we made. The ship progressed with the decks being put in. The decks, each deck as it was put in was finished, and the next deck went in and then it was finished with whatever went on it until we got to the top deck. Masts on a sailing ship aren't vertical. The foremast is usually vertical, I'll change that, but each other mast progressively leans back. So all decks had to be altered, of course, to accommodate the slope of the mast. The outside planking goes on after the internals was done. Then the deck is planked to fit the shape. The planking on these little boats, that took a whole winter, 7 months of my time to actually make these 3 ships' boats. The people in them are scale size. The planking is all held in place with bamboo nails. All blocks over 12 inch I've made, and blocks of various types get made out of ash. I start with a bit of ash wood and I groove it. And this will give you an idea why things take so long. Using a diamond point taper, we enlarge the hole a little and round it to make it give the appearance of a sheath, a round pulley in there. Enlarge the hole, shape it. You can see the dust coming off there. The biggest block on the ship is one that manhandles the anchor. And that's the blocks that accompany that one. They won't go on until the ship's actually completely finished. That'll be about the last item on. Any line that hasn't got green is yet to go on the ship. There's 5 sheets of that, and as you can see there's an awful lot that's yet to go on the ship. Every bit is hard to do. What's the hardest thing? Well, I don't know what the hardest thing is. Everything has been difficult.
As seen, Wayne has put in 110% effort into building his replica of the Bounty. He has come so far, and yet he has so far to go.